Welcome to another edition of FreightWaves Now. I'm Emily Zink.
I'm Chad Prevost, and we are here bringing it to you here on Taco Tuesday, FreightWaves Now style.
We got a lot going on. We are talking about how this weather, it's raining right here in Chattanooga, and a lot of the nation, how the weather is affecting intermodal volumes.
The weather outside is frightful. Kyle Cunningham is going to be giving us the carrier point of view. Kyle, what you got?
Hey, thanks for that, Chad. Let's talk about today, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Speaking of the weather here, the weather out in the Midwest still looking pretty volatile, and the numbers are going to reflect it here today. We are looking at the Reefer tender rejection. So to give you a context of that, that's the outbound rejection specifically for refrigerated trailers. Now today, 42.35%, quite elevated from the beginning of June, while we're also looking at the inbound and outbound volumes.
Okay, so the purple is the Fayetteville market. What are the other two?
So this is going to be our outbound tendered volume, our yellow line right here at 22.7 basis points. And then we also got our inbound tendered volume at trending a little bit higher. Now, the reason why this is important is because we are looking at real tendered volume. We're looking at the stuff coming in and the stuff going out, simply put. So the yellow line here trending down the outbound volume while the inbound volume starts to trend up. What is that going to tell us, Chad? That's going to show us the ability to see what capacity is coming in and how many trucks are coming out. With the inbound volume trending in, that's telling me there's more empty trucks coming in. There will be in that market, and the outbound volumes trending down. That's a little less available freight on the way out, but still, if you're refrigerated at 42.3%, this is a market you want to take a look at today. Take a look at your numbers, make sure you're getting exactly what you're worth in that market, and understand that this is a carrier-controlled market in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Mike O'Brien joins us. He's talking about intermodal volumes. And Mike, how are things looking right now?
It depends on who you are. If you're a shipper, they're looking really good right now. If you're a carrier, not so good this far in the year. I mean, last report, intermodal volumes were down 8% week over week for the year, down at 2.7 for the entire year. And that's what we're kind of looking at with the chart here.
Yeah, big changes and a lot of stuff going on. Explain this chart to us here, Mike.
Yeah, intermodal traffic is containers and trailers. That's what we have pulled. The red is the container traffic, and the green trend line is trailers. So what you've seen is over the year they both declined. Containers are falling at a rate of about 6.5% year over year, but then the green, you can see trailers are just kind of falling off the face of the earth. It's almost like they're being driven out.
Why is this happening?
The railroads, with their precision scheduled railroading, have deemed anything that's not efficient, they want it out of the system. Trailers aren't as efficient for them as containers with the double stack economics, so it looks like they're kind of being pushed away at this point.
And the weather, we've been talking about this crazy flooding, all that. Yeah, it continues, and still right now in Chattanooga, it is raining cats and dogs, and that's doing something. So explain this and what the weather's doing.
The weather in the Midwest has been relentless. It's what started the whole slide in rail volumes in mid-March. The record flooding started, but the weather's not let up as far as soaking rains, just torrential downfalls. In fact, what we're looking at now is grain traffic, more specifically corn, which is part of the grain. It's like grain, wheat, barley, and all that. What we've seen recently is the farmers had until June 5th to plant the crop so they could have insurance in case something went wrong. But conditions were so bad, they chose not to even plant the crop this year in many cases. There's millions of fields that are unseeded at this point. They ended up choosing the planting prevention clause, which will give them 55 to 60% of the value of the crops, since they're not planting. So they've chosen not to plant them at all instead of taking the risk and putting them in the ground and seeing what happens.
So things are just going to go down even more because corn's not growing.
Yeah, the volumes were already down 5%, and with this happening, those volumes are just going to continue to slide.
So it's a hot reefer market out there, especially in Fayetteville.
And in the realm of intermodal, things are looking good if you're a shipper, not so much if you're a carrier.
Thanks for tuning in to FreightWaves Now. Share the love on social media.
We'll see you tomorrow.